the seam of our pocket's just fallen off, and the whole thing's just fallen onto the ground at the same time.
Who drops their pocket?
I don't have pocketless pants.
What?
You're a fucking idiot. Then drive off, riding off as they're riding. I was like, why would you even say that for, dude?
And they were like, what do we do now? Well, that's it then. We dropped our pocket.
There's no pocket to go into anymore because it's gone.
All right. Fucking here we are.
Here we are.
Fucking, yeah.
First time.
Well, it's not the first time we've fucking done
Yeah,
one.
no, it's not
We
the
did
first
one
time,
before
no.
and we kind of stuffed that up. But, you know.
Do we even still have the download of that? Do you still have the MP3 of that? Or
I think I have the file of it, yeah, but...
.wav file that would have been ripped in some really poor quality version of...
To be perfectly honest, I don't know if that's ever going to see the light of day.
Yeah, the Windows recorder that we use on me microphone that actually breaks now all the time. Like, stuff was blowing up at me this afternoon that every time I knock it, like even just a slight little knock, it goes...
Dirty noises and stuff.
Sounds like aliens and stuff. I'm assuming it's like Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Calling through the woodwork. You got the fucking alien fucking...
Every time.
The fucking pulse cannon. Boo!
It doesn't... It's not the same one that we used back in the day when we were recording those songs. It was one that I was using after the one that we used to record those songs.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
sounded like... Some people would say it sounded like I was using a ham radio underwater. It's gone...
It's a fucking, handmade ham radio. You fucking
Made out of
soldered
wood
it
and stuff,
soldered
yeah,
it together
made out of
yourself.
wood. Putting cathodes underwater and shit. Watching
From World War II materials.
Old German World War II army radio. Hey. Big antenna fucking out of the water. You have to actually have it out of the water to actually make sound.
So I made a bunch of notes about making, we talked the other night about recording a podcast.
Yeah.
So I made a bunch of notes. But the thing was, I was really fucking drunk when I made these notes. And to be perfectly honest...
I really want to see these notes, so...
Well,
you have to go through them.
At the
You've been hiding them.
At the...
Hoarding them.
At the very fucking top of the fucking notes, I've written... Like, this is after the fact, I think, after I've written everything. I've written down...
It's been about 2 o'clock at this point.
My handwriting is well fucked. I'm sorry. Dropped pocket. And
You
like
instantly drop your pocket. Before you know it, you've dropped your pocket.
and it just goes on and on, man. It's just wank. I will actually... There is something I want to mention. I was talking to it, like, I went searching on Omegle for people. I just, like, started, like, just drunk as piss, like, talking to people on
That
Omegle.
doesn't end well.
Never does.
No, ever.
I've never had an Omegle time end well.
No.
But I said to him, I was like, oh, look, I want to record I'm looking to record a podcast. I'm looking for stories.
Oh, that's a good idea.
No one delivered.
No one.
Except this one guy. Okay, I'll just read out basically the essentially transcript of the conversation. I'm like, hey, he goes, what's happening? I say, hey man, to tell you the truth, I'm looking for stories. He's like, stories? Yeah, man.
Did you get to see his picture though? Like, was he actually on webcam?
Yeah,
as
he was
well
on
at the
webcam
same
and
time?
stuff.
Did he look like a weird fat dude who lived in
Just
his...
a normal guy.
Just a normal
He basically
average
looked
dude.
like you, just
The
not...
Unabomber? Just an average dude. Who just happens to destroy everything.
Now you mention it.
It was.
He could have very well have been the Unabomber. But he's like... I'm like, yeah, man, I'm looking into starting a podcast with a friend of mine. And I said, I'm trading in stories, basically. Give me a story and I'll fucking give you one.
Yeah.
And he fucking goes, I saw how... Quote... I saw how fucking black and empty my friend's, quote, soul is. That's an interesting thing to see. The true darkness in someone. That's not a story. It's just something that fucked up my night. So I'm sitting there just like, what the fuck?
Please go into more detail than...
And he wouldn't.
That's because it was a fib.
It very well have been, yeah.
He just Googled... Cool story.
Cool story.
Darkest
Cool
night
story, bro.
Darkest night of my life came up. It was literally some Amazon blurb of a book. Stephen King's novel or something like that. That would have been cool had he had gone into grave detail in it and be like,
Yeah.
like I watched him, I don't know, have panic attack.
It was disappointing
something,
that he didn't go in detail, but what a
Yeah.
fucked up thing to say to someone that you don't know.
Some random dude on
I saw the blackness of my best friend's soul.
Pretty sure that's exactly what Omegle's for. Hey, get on there and be like, yeah, I tame lions and stuff. Hey, that's what I do for a living.
Telling fibs.
So there's scratches down your face, and like 15 minutes before, and you're going, yeah, to hurt yourself is bad, and scratching your neck. Be like, yeah, this is where the lion bit me the other day. Hey.
Well, in that case, man, I think it's probably going to be better off if you look through this rather than I do.
Oh no! Don't tear it out. Just
the folded pages where I started making sober notes.
Okay, sober notes.
So before that, it's all just drunk bullshit.
All right, let's have a good squeeze here. I don't want a dead air, so I don't really want to specifically.
A lot of it, man, is like just complete wank. Like you wouldn't even want to talk about it.
What's his numbers?
Oh, 8675309.
Yeah,
that's a fucking song from the 80s. Apparently, like. You probably know the song, like 8675309.
Yeah, I know the song. Yeah,
that's a fucking song. Apparently, in the 80s, it was this big fucking thing. Like that song was such a hit in, like, I don't know, 1981 or whatever. That song was such a big hit that it was an actual problem in the US. Like they had to block that number from several people and change their numbers because people that had that actual number were like phone calls like fucking daily, just going, "Hey Jenny,
809," and then just hanging up.
So yeah, I fucking looked that up the other night and I found that.
It's got here, doesn't exist. Is it?
I called it up, yeah.
So it doesn't exist, we can't actually go. Did you put 49 in front of it?
Yeah, I called every version Australian.
Did you try American? Like, it would probably cost a lot of money.
No, I didn't go into the American versions. No, I didn't go that far. I wasn't paying for that shit, man.
It's very likely that number doesn't exist.
Well, according to a Reddit post, it does still exist.
Some old dude's got it. He's like, fuck off every time.
Well, it's a plumbing company, a dude that runs it, and he's like, I can't remember what it is, but for example, it's like Jason's Plumbing Company, and they use the same number.
As you would, hey, if you knew the song and you were gonna like refer, if you had that and you're like, hang on, that's that song from the 80s. Be like, yeah, let's do the same version, but just make it a little different.
So we don't have to pay.
So we don't pay royalties. Yeah. Fuck those bastards. Dead air.
Dead air.
Dead air. Fucking horse shit.
Yeah, I did kind of lose it myself.
Yeah, you did.
Writing down wank and just scribbled fucking.
So going from this page is probably going to be wise because that was drunkards. Even your handwriting's horrible.
Yeah,
it gets so much better as you've got sober. Hey.
You can tell, yeah.
It really has. Hey, the egg situation. The egg situation.
Oh, okay.
So this happened today.
This was today, yeah. So, my brother owns a compound bow.
Yeah, like a proper with the wheels and everything on it. Oh,
full blown.
What does that guy need a compound bow for? He's a drummer.
I don't know.
He should be just working on his shins, not his arms.
I think someone just went to him like one day, "Well, I'll sell you a compound bow for X," and he was like, "Yeah, all right."
With his money, he's just like, yeah as he
so
does.
He copped it. He's barely used it. So we're drinking on today and stuff, and we noticed the compound bow. We're like, "Oh, let's have a go, hey."
It's not something you should have noticed when you're drunk. It should be put away under the stairs, hey.
And he's like, "Oh, well, I've only got like one arrow, because all the rest of them are like, they're broken and they're fucked."
Up the backyard and the gum tree and stuff.
So like, and we had to move, like he had this like bit of fucking corkboard thing that he was shooting his arrows into. We had to move that because he discovered there's so much power behind it that he'd shoot it and it'd go through the corkboard, through the hedge, and through the fence behind it into the neighbour's fucking...
Through the colour-bond.
Yeah, through the colour-bond and everything, into the neighbour's yard next door. And I said to him, it's like, we're going to have to move that fucking board, otherwise we're going to kill the neighbourhood kids, and we don't want that in their... Don't want that in their backs.
Had the dog been running around the backyard and just hears, go! I'm pretty sure we just nailed the dog. Go over there, it's like, pierce through its neck, it's like, just throw it, just chuck it out.
That'd be.
Just take it down the bush and just chuck it away. Hurling it off, get rid of it! Evidence gone!
So yeah, we moved the corkboard, we put it into basically backed it on my old man's tomato garden. Fuck the tomatoes.
Fuck tomato.
Right. I said, like, when we put it there, if anyone fucking nails it through a tomato, that's
You've won the game.
You've won the game.
Game over.
So we're basically using the one arrow We'll probably
Everyone
do it for an
fetching
hour and a half,
fetching
2
it
hours.
each time too. Like every time fetching it.
Yeah. Every time you have to walk up and pull it out of the...
Yeah, if you're the one shooting, you have to go and fetch your own arrow.
Yeah.
Your arrow.
And there. So we're doing that for, I don't know, an hour and a half or whatever. And eventually, I took something out of the garbage. And next to the fucking garbage bin, there was an egg.
A random egg, chicken egg.
Just an egg sitting right next to my garbage bin. I went, yelled at me brother, called him over. What do you make of that? And he's like, no, he had nothing. So I picked it up and I shook it and stuff, and I was like, I think it's actually hard boiled in the sun. It's been there for that long. I was like, I can't imagine, because it's right in front of the bin, man.
Yeah.
I'm out there every couple of days. So
It's a wonder Ralph didn't eat it straight away.
no,
Instantly.
we keep our bins on the fucking other side of the fence, so Ralph can't get to them because he has a tendency of knocking the fucking bins over. And
He's a beagle, man. Hey, he will literally knock those bins over just to be able to eat himself to death.
So I pick the egg up, I show it to Cameron. What do you make of this egg? And he goes, that is fucked. That's real strange.
Then he goes, I just left it there the other day to see how long it would take you to notice it.
No. I never found out the origin of
Yeah.
said egg. But Cameron goes, straight away, without hesitation, should shoot it with an arrow. And I've had a couple of beers,
As
I've
you do,
had a couple of cookies. Yeah, alright. So we prop it up using a proper system, using fence palings and shit, propped it up with bricks and fence palings, put it up so it's actually perfectly propped up right in front of the bullseye. Here's Cameron, all day, he couldn't hit the target. He couldn't hit the bullseye all day, and he's blowing up about it, this is bullshit. I
The
get
sights are off, it's fucked, yeah.
The sight was off, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So,
you actually had to aim to look at basically where the head of the arrow, and aim it that way, because the sight was fucking too far gone. He hadn't hit a bullseye all day, and then he's getting pissed off about it. Fucking, he has one go at the egg. Bang! Smacks it right through the fucking centre, and straight away we're all in the backyard, and it was like... Oh! You could smell it. It just wafted. It was rotten egg. We're all going... borderline throwing up. Why did we do that? What's wrong with us? Got the hose out, pissing...
Did you not know instantly that was going to happen, though?
Honestly...
It didn't even occur.
Didn't even occur.
cross your mind.
That
That would have
yeah.
been my first thought. When this breaks, this is going to be putrid. Hey, you know what's probably happened? Your mum's probably chucked out in the recycle bin or something. Or,
It's missed the bin.
and it's missed the bin and just landed perfectly on the ground. Hey, just that one spare egg that sat in there for probably 2 months in the fridge is just chuck that out. Hey, it's probably off to begin with. And then it sat in the sun and hard boiled itself. Or did it burst and turn into liquid when it burst?
It was fucking rotten, man. Cameron fucking... because I had to hand him the hose, over the pool fence and stuff, so I couldn't really
Doing it in
see.
the pool area?
No, it was... Where the hose is positioned, you kind of have to go over the fence and stuff.
Yeah.
So I handed it to him, and I can hear him going, "Oh, you don't, no, you don't want to see it." And we cleaned it up and stuff. We made it spick and span as much as we could.
There's nothing like that smell. Hey, the smell of rotting eggs.
That's it. We went back inside, man, and it was embedded. Because he was so close to it, it was in his t-shirt. And he said to me, he's like, I didn't want to say it out there, but I saw something that was properly fucked up. And I'm like, do I want to know? And he's like, dude, as I was hosing the egg fucking way, there was proper yolk and stuff that had gone rotten. And, but there was an embryo, a head.
Yeah.
A
little
small fucking half-developed head in it.
It wasn't in a one that you bought from the supermarket. It's not in that at all, because the only way for that to happen is if a rooster...
Someone's dropped it. But it was just, It's
very likely that a chicken's actually gone, probably...
I don't know
do you not have next door neighbours that have chickens or anything?
No,
That's so weird.
How strange is that, hey?
For there to be an embryo inside of it, it has to be a rooster around.
Yeah.
There has to be.
That's what I thought.
It's the way nature works.
It was just
so
right
fucking
there
weird.
in front of my bin.
That
It
is
was so bizarre.
That is very bizarre, hey. Especially to be an embryo inside of it, hey. Because I'm, I've got chickens and they've been laying eggs for 3
Yeah,
years.
you do, yeah.
And they've never ever laid one with an embryo inside of it because there's no rooster in the backyard. There's a rooster up the street, and that's what causes them to like not lay eggs for a couple of days or a week or so because they go and roost. But I've never had one with an embryo inside of it. It's my biggest fear to crack an egg and then be like,
oh, dude,
I'm
not going to eat
ruin
eggs
my omelets
for a long
forever.
time.
Oh yeah, no, and
It's gonna be a while.
that stench
The
is something you can
That's
never ever understand unless you've smelt proper rotten eggs. Hey?
No.
It's fucking.
It's
It's
gonna
not
be a
even
while.
like. It's not like sulfur or anything. It's just.
It's
wrong.
it's
It's just-
undescribable. It's
wrong.
wrong. Yeah.
It's rotting. It's rotting. Yolk. Blech. Blech. I don't want to talk about the new Flash TV show because I haven't watched any of it.
That's fine.
We did talk about the first episode, which I knew straight away as soon as you were like the first scene where he sees the yellow.
Yeah, well,
whirlwind.
it's-
And I was just like, egg straight away.
Reverse Flash.
Yeah,
and
Flashpoint
Speed
Paradox.
Force
Yeah.
That's that was the same, man. I pretty much.
I blew it for me.
I
I blew it for me dad because my dad's kind of like he's into it, but he's not as into it as he should be. Like not especially.
I would not have given a shit had it not been like for something like that. That's basically what dragged me into it. Yeah,
to do that on the first episode, it means that
they can go anywhere.
they could probably gotten nowhere to go but down after that because that's a pretty fucking pivotal.
They have they've brought in villains, like they've brought in Captain Cold and a few other villains here and there, and I'll be honest, I'm pretty fucking impressed with what I've done with it so far. It's not amazing, it's not a great show.
It's done by the same people that done
Arrow,
so it's good. It would be good, and it just takes that effort. It's like you got those 4 or 5 episodes out of the 13 or whatever that they do, probably 24 because it's it's that CW network.
I think so
they do probably 24 in a season.
Yeah, well, I think
now.
they just had the mid-season finale, and it's episode 9, which I thought was a bit strange.
Oh,
but
so they might be breaking it back down to maybe 16 or something like that. Hey, that's weird. But they're that kind of network that you do the first initial episodes of it. They start off on a really good high note, and then it dips
Peters
and then ups
out.
and dips and then ups. Hey, it's really like
it could go
heart
that
monitor
way.
machine.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
The series has kind of been like that. It is up
Arrow
and
was
down.
exactly like that.
I got over Arrow so quickly.
But it's good. It does. It
picks up.
It does somewhat pan, especially because you get to see different other characters you would never thought you would see ever again.
I should pick it up again.
What's his Nicolas Cage in? Can't remember.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage in 2, 3. Can't remember.
So I looked up. I found an article online that was a bunch of Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
They take just for anyone that's listening. They
say posters. What the fuck am I doing here?
I don't know, man. I do not know.
And it says underneath it. What happened to Nicolas Cage? ?
So essentially, there was a Rotten Tomatoes list. For anyone that's listening, Rotten Tomatoes is essentially a website that takes critics' reviews of movies and then breaks them down into a percentage, which is a percentage of how many critics liked the movie. What I'm talking about was a list of the Rotten Tomatoes movies that were the lowest rated, all the movies this year, the lowest rated Rotten Tomatoes movies this year, and Nicolas Cage, man, was in at least 2 or 3 of them.
Of course he was, man.
What the fuck happened to Nicolas Cage?
It's because that guy's... He's all about them ducats.
Not only that, every goddamn poster of all these movies, he had the same face. He's sitting there just with this same confused look on his face, what the fuck am I doing
This is a
here?
generic cardboard cutout of Nicolas Cage somewhere. They're like, whenever they get a poster and something, then Nicolas
just cut the
they just
face.
use that. They use that one cardboard cutout that they've been using since
They just use some male model, use the Nicolas Cage face, and just
they've
plant
been
it
using
on.
it since Ghost Rider or something like that. They took a really good photo of him where he's wearing the leathers, and they're like, let's just
That's
forever
it, it's
use
never
that.
gonna get better than this.
It's got public domain on it. Hey, whenever you want a good picture, it's just just use that picture of Nicolas Cage from Ghost Rider where he wore the leather jacket and stuff. He had that
He
really
looks
decent
sick.
pose.
That one time in his life.
It's like public domain now. Hey, yeah, everyone's got a chance to use it.
He's one of those guys, man. I think what happened to him is he just can't say no to movies. He'll just do fucking
Why would ya?
whatever.
Why would you? There's another...
Christopher Walken's the same,
Walken
and
is
also
the
guy from I can't remember his name from Clockwork Orange.
Malcolm McDowell.
Malcolm McDowell, he's the same. He still does
He does a
he'll
lot
pop
of
up in
good
fucking
stuff,
anything.
hey.
But the difference between with Malcolm McDowell and Christopher Walken, it doesn't affect their career. Nicolas Cage, he just keeps
Apple.
appearing in shit and going further and further down the shit rabbit hole.
Yeah. You can go from, like, he played a pretty cool character in Gone in 60 Seconds, and I'm pretty sure that was the last cool person
That was
he
like
played.
20-something years ago.
It really was. Hey, it was like 2001 or something like that. It's a long time ago. And that's probably the last cool character he played. Alright, well, that's you done, unless you wanted to talk about the drunky stuff, which I can't really decipher. I used to be able to read your handwriting in school, but that was like...
That was a long time ago.
10 years ago now. Yours and Billy's writing. He's like doctors before you were 14. The way your handwriting was.
Yeah, a lot of it's just horseshit. Like, honestly, it's...
The initial start bit, I was just like, I'm not going through that.
It's all just crap. Like, I remember, like, looking back at it, I'm like, there's nothing here that's worth talking about.
If you'd like, had a brief moment of clarity and thought, oh yeah, that'd be
Well,
something.
that's what it was. Yeah, there was no clarity.
You're writing it down like, yeah, no, I'll remember that later. I remember what I wanted to talk about when I write this one line that says, what am I talking about? You're like, yeah, no, I remember now.
There's just
Didn't
like
happen.
several lines describing how my handwriting is really shit.
There was several lines.
Here we go. This is probably something we can talk about. Let's go through the drop pocket story.
Oh no, the drop pocket. It was not really much to say. We just went for a stroll. It was our first random walk too. It was just like, hey,
There was, yeah.
Yeah, you want to go for a walk up the bush? It's like, where? We used to go fucking back in the day when we were young kids. And I was like, yeah, let's go for a stroll. Somewhere where you and Karen had been walking for at least 2 years. He's been strolling up
dirty
there.
old tracks, yeah.
Going up for a random track up there. I had not been up there in such a long... Would have been the first time or the second time we had done it?
I
Might have been the second time.
think it may have been,
The
yeah.
second time we had done it. A concrete road part that actually comes to the point where it leads into a highway nearly, like a offshoot road onto the highway. Some kids had been riding around on motorbikes. We'd heard them all day too. I had even commented. It was like,
yeah, flogging up.
constantly flogging around. I was like, it's got to be that point in time where, like, at that time of day where it was like, I don't know, 3:30 in the afternoon. The kids probably just got home from school. They're like, yeah, let's get on our motorbikes and go for a ride up the bush.
for a fucking ride,
Could hear him the whole time. And I was even commenting when they'd ridden off, and I was like, can't hear him anymore. And it's so much nicer to not hear motorbikes. Then as we walked further up the hill, walked up this treacherous bloody fucking big hill with shale rocks all over it, falling down, nearly doing our ankles in and stuff. Get to the end of this road, and it starts to go onto the tar pavement. And here's these two motorbike guys come riding up, randomly. I'm like, here they come. Here we go. And I knew straight away they're going to say something to us. Like, here we go. They're going to say something to us. So I picked up that rock off the ground just in case I'd had to throw it or smack it in the side of the head. When someone's like, I'm about to hit this guy on the head. Hey, comes up and randomly goes, points to the ground in front of me and says, you've dropped your pocket, mate. It's like, did that guy just say I dropped me pocket? And you've done
we've both like checking our pockets going...
Actually looking like I had
it confused the fuck out of us.
little gas mask bag on me. I'm like, hang on, is something falling out of it? Like, has my back pocket fallen off? And as we
has me pocket and I've
has my pants pocket falling off?
Actually, I lost the stitching and I've lost like the pocket itself and it's flopped out and I've dropped my wallet or something. To be honest, like we were so confused, they could have fucking mugged us and like we would have
stand there confused.
Just going, what? I still don't know what happened.
My pocket. I love that we both looked around behind us as if to be like,
literally, like,
has our wallet fallen out?
Like,
has our wallet actually physically falling out of our pants? Or has our whole pocket, like the seam of our pockets, just fallen off and the whole thing's just fallen onto the ground at the same time?
I think they were taking the piss.
I'd like to think they were taking the piss. If they were serious about it and we had dropped our pocket, I don't have
Who drops their pocket?
I don't have pocketless pants.
What kind of term is that?
Yeah, no, I don't have a
I've never heard that before.
No.
Oi, excuse me, mate.
I'd love to know.
You dropped your pocket.
I'd love to know if there's a hashtag drop pocket or you've dropped your pocket. Is there something like that out there?
I'd like to think after this it fucking takes off big time.
Hashtag drop your pocket.
Who's dropped their pocket lately?
Well, this guy in the siege, he's very well dropped his pocket.
He has dropped his pocket,
Has
yeah.
a pocket ever been dropped?
This guy taking the siege in Sydney. He's done it like on he's the lone gunman.
He's the lone
from what we
pocket
know. He has dropped it. I think he's the drop pocket of the week.
To be honest, yeah, I think so. To have dropped in the whole sense of the word of actually dropping your pocket. I'm assuming this guy's seam on his pants has come that loose that his pocket's fallen off his actual pants. Therefore, he's dropped his pocket.
It's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, his wallet's in the start
Timbuktu.
Yeah, Martin Place. As he was walking the door, his pocket hole.
It's gone
fell
off.
off. It fell off.
Oh,
before
fuck.
He
God, I can't pay for me coffee.
Then he realised when he got in the lint shop he can't actually pay for his chocolate coffee. So he's held the place up.
And here we are, 13 hours later or some bullshit.
13 hours later and he still hasn't got that chocolate latte that he couldn't pay for. He's fucking dropped his pocket.
He's dropped his pocket, and it's Steven Seagal's new movie. It's Over Siege.
It's very like
Starring Nicolas Cage.
it's very
Starring Nicolas Cage. It'll be the worst movie of 2015. Nicolas Cage drops his pocket in 2015. Nicolas Cage stars in Dropped His Pocket. It's just him, like, reenacting the story of the siege.
I'd love to know, honestly, why he said you've dropped your pocket. You could have said anything to
Of
us.
all the things to say,
He was
hey.
on a motorbike, helmet and everything. Like, he could have literally just...
What was his
He
game?
actually took... He lifted his helmet visor up to say, you've dropped your
You've
pocket.
dropped your pocket. And we
He
didn't
could have
mishear
said
him.
anything. You could have said, you're a bunch of faggots, and then went,
Fuck
"Eh,"
you,
then drove off,
assholes.
get a dick up.
Cop
yeah,
this, fuck you. Yeah.
yeah.
Anything. But he said, you
Dick
have
dumb shit.
dropped
No, nothing,
your
hey.
pocket.
You've dropped your pocket. Mate, you've dropped your pocket. And then, "Whoa."
To be honest, like, I think he actually nailed it, because it fucking
was the
threw,
most
it threw us
confusing-
for a loop.
Most confusing
We
thing.
stood there for like 5 minutes just
I love
going,
it, like,
what?
As we were walking back to, it was like, you dropped your pocket, man. And like, oh, yeah, you're a prick, hey. Why would you even say
Yeah. So, like, because of, one asshole kid that just had a laugh on us, to be fair, good on him. He had a good laugh on us. He got us.
He wouldn't have even been 17, hey.
He was, at least
The
14
motorbike
if
was
best.
The motorbike was unregistered. He had a helmet on, I'll give him that. He had leathers on too.
He was
actually had
preparing himself,
He
yeah,
had
yeah.
motorbike gear
He was
on.
doing
So
the
did
right
his-
thing.
And so did his mate. His mate didn't say anything though, and his mate didn't lift up his visor or anything.
He just took off.
He went actually. Normally, when you see that, like back in the day when I was a young kid, and you'd go ride your bike up the bush, and you'd have motorbike riders come along, they'd be like in there. Almost their 20s, like 17 at the youngest, and they would go around you and then do burnouts and stuff like that and be pricks and
We're
then,
used to it,
and
yeah,
then piss off, or they would actually, like, one would come on your left and then one would come on your right and go around you and then kick up heaps of dust near you and shit. They could have done that. They could have actually kicked up dust or anything and then laughed at us
Anything
and
else
rode off, but no.
Would, like, I'd be used to it. But just literally, stopping full tracks, like, right in front of us and
Literally
going, mate,
pulled up and said you dropped your
you
pocket.
drop your pocket.
You've dropped your pocket.
Hit us for 6. We were fucked. Like, in his own defence, he fucking got us good. Very good. Hit us... No, he fucked us
Had
big
we
time.
been, like, 16, would we have got it? Would
I-
we have been like, yeah, I did drop your pocket, ha, sucked in. It's like...
Maybe.
thanks for-
Maybe it's something the kids are busting around now that we're just too old to
Yeah,
understand.
we don't go to school no more, hey, so we don't understand the drop pocket, hey.
The thing is, though, we have actually adopted it. Oh, if that's the term. Adopted, stolen, just outright, pinched.
Yeah, we pinched the shit out of it.
From a 15-year-old.
Somebody who probably doesn't even know what he said when he's riding off with his mate. It's like,
I'm just going to say some bullshit to these
I just
assholes.
told those guys that they dropped their pocket, hey. He's like, what? You're a fucking idiot. Ah! And then drive off, and then riding off as they're riding off. I was like, why would you even say that for, dude?
Little as you know, we have adopted it, and now it's just like something we just use in
I use
every
it all the time
every
now. I
day,
say it all
like
the time,
terminology.
hey.
It's just something like if you fuck up. Oh, I dropped my pocket.
The other day when I was cleaning, getting the chicken's eggs out of the thing, and I dropped the bowl that I was using to actually throw the chickens. I was like, oh, I dropped my pocket. It was a bowl and all. It's just for the reference of I have dropped my pocket. It was like that time when we came to school after coming back from the school holidays, and we'd gone, like we'd done our whole December, halfway through January, and gone back to school, and they wrote sea monkey poo pants. Or no, it wasn't sea monkey poo pants. That's what Anthony had made up. It was fart sandwich pirates. That was written on our wall in whiteout. So someone actually came to the school on school holidays and wrote on the wall fart sandwich pirates. And it was like, that's one of the weirdest, just straight up flat sentences. Fart sandwich pirates, full stop.
You just pull that out your ass.
And then we sat there for like 3.5 days thinking what's the weirdest thing we could say, and then Anthony came up with sea monkey poo pants, and that was just adopted straight away. It was just like what's the most random thing you can possibly say? Sea monkey poo pants.
I remember around the same time, it has to have been around the same time, I had a suit jacket that I bought from an op shop that I think I spray painted on the back of it, poo bum ass goblin.
I remember that. I remember Boo Bum Ass Goblin
I used to
jacket.
fucking wear that thing all
Everywhere,
the time. Do you remember, like, we used to basically walk around our neighbourhoods with, you had a skateboard and I would walk around with a pogo stick.
Or a scooter, like a razor scooter. Like
Give or take, yeah. Depending on how I felt, yeah.
Whatever you felt like riding that day.
Neither of which, I didn't own either of them. I basically just pinched them from my brother.
Got the pogo stuck in a tree.
That's what I'm heading towards. The time we got I don't even know how it began, how it got there, but essentially we had a pogo stick, we threw it, God knows how.
I don't even think we threw it. I think what happened was you done an actual bounce on it and it slipped out and then went up into the tree, bounced that high that it landed, but it landed perfectly on like a split, like fork branch, and it landed flat over it, like it was like a board laying over the top of it. Good hour and a half trying to throw the skateboard at it, get it out of the fucking tree.
Trying to launch a skateboard, trying to knock it out of this tree branch. In the middle of suburbia too. There's probably like people going,
just down
look
from
at these fucks.
Just down from the racecourse, hey. Just down from the racecourse.
Down the pub, yeah.
Just down from the racecourse. Before we could even drink. Yeah. Had we been like 18 at the
we'd
time,
have had a few,
we'd have been
yeah.
fuck that. Let's go and have a skewy.
We'll come back.
Then we'll come back and look, see if we can get it out. Hopefully by that time it's fallen out of the tree.
We're like 15 and just, spent like an hour and a half throwing a fucking skateboard
at one stage,
into
remember
a tree.
the skateboard actually got caught up in the tree.
And they were like, what do we do now?
Climb up the branch and start shaking the branch like from where it like shoots off the tree to try to knock the skateboard down to get the actual pogo stick down.
Oh, fucking hell.
That was funny shit. Okay, so we just came back from a break and we dropped our pockets really badly. Me and Simon both dropped our pockets, even Zach.
They're dropped.
We all dropped.
We've all had a drop.
We literally sat here for the past maybe 6 minutes just talking about Clerks when we should have been recording at the same time, but we all dropped our pocket.
We all dropped the
So
pocket.
here we're going to go. We're going to start back off. So we're talking about Clerks and how we really like having conversations. We've always, me and you can just have conversations regardless of.
We've
known each other since we've known each other since year one. And, and we've still gone through the phase of being able to talk the whole. So it's not even a phase. It's literally just the way our friendship is. We can still talk about anything, and it could just be random stuff.
You just pull shit out your ass, man. As long as we're continuously talking, it just seems to make us happy.
And it has to have stemmed from possibly us watching Clerks. And if it wasn't for actually growing up with Clerks at fucking such a young age, literally you coming over my house, me going over your house, and just seriously watching that movie, like that, Mallrats, and movies where people just talk. That's all most of the shit that happens is not, it's talking.
Just to get off subject, you remember we were saying recently with the NHL game on Mallrats?
Yeah.
We wanted to get it on Sega.
95?
Yeah. No, I looked it up. Apparently it was on Sega Saturn. And for fuck if I know.
He's using a Sega control.
That's what I said in the fucking game, in the movie.
97 then.
It's a full. I swear to God, they show a Genesis or a Mega Drive.
He mustn't have been actually playing it then.
I think I read. I don't know. I think that maybe they had like a endorsement from Saturn or something, and they had to show the game. Yeah. But Kevin was just like, "Well, fuck it, I like the
Sega control."
Genesis. Yeah. I don't know. No idea.
It's probably that line. He probably wrote the "Women are scorned for Sega" line.
Yeah. Well, it was still a Sega either way. It was Saturn,
I suppose it was.
Fucked if I know, man. I'm really just driving off course here and talking about absolute wank, so it doesn't really matter.
No, it's still kind of referencing the
what
whole
we do.
of us when we were fucking watching
we talk shit.
Clerks and shit back in the day. Hey,
I watched Gone Girl the other night, the new movie with Ben Affleck in it. And I'm like, while I was watching it, I looked up Ben Affleck on IMDb. I'm going through his the shit that he's acted in, and it turns out he's in an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, what the fuck? So I googled it, and I found a video of it. It was like an 8-second clip on YouTube. You remember the episode where basically Larry's he goes into a store, and I think he tries on a pair of pants, and then there's a fire alarm or some shit goes off, and he has to leave.
Yeah,
He pinches the pair of pants basically.
Yeah.
It's like fucking. Blink and you'll miss it that quick. As Larry leaves the store, Ben Affleck just scoots out in the background.
I love that he's credited for that too. Most people
wouldn't ever
get credited for that. Hey,
Ben Affleck. There's a brief scene in Gone Girl, man, where I think he's in the shower or some fucking bullshit, and there's kind of a brief scene where you fucking see it for a second.
Yeah,
you see his dick.
He wasn't wearing... Yeah, well, I'm going to have to watch it and probably pause it on it to see if he's got a prosthetic on.
It's fucking huge, man. He's like, you can tell he's like been putting weight on through the movie because like I believe he got word that he was Batman like while they were filming
As
it.
they were doing it, yeah. So he's like, I'm gonna have to turn into like
There are scenes like it kind of goes like in between. Like sometimes he'll be a bit small, and then you see, and he's fucking like
beforehand. So, yeah, he's starting to be like, I'm gonna have to turn into like a 60-something-year-old fat,
I'm Batman,
like, rough as guts, like old man, hey, who's actually still kind of in shape, but not.
Did you see the I think Michael Keaton did an interview recently, and someone asked him, they were like, "Oh, you know, you do all these things. You know, you hear all these new actors that are all coming out, you know, playing new Batman.
Yeah,
there's been more since there's you." And he just, how do you feel about Ben Affleck as Batman? You know, blah blah blah, that kind of bullshit question. And Michael Keaton was just like, "I'm Batman. I'm secure in that," and just that was it. He just shut it down.
He's Batman.
He's Batman.
Now
That's
he's
it.
gonna be Birdman as well.
I can't wait to see fucking Birdman.
Can't wait to see that too, man. It's gonna be such a good movie. Oh, I think we've fucking pretty much touched base on everything. Other than
We've dropped our pockets?
Yeah, we have dropped our pockets very well, much again.
We've dropped it. Well, that's it then. We've dropped our pockets.
It's
Is that what we want to do? Do we want to fucking come up with a name for this bullshit?
Oh, we could come up with a name of it. Like, it's got to be something about dropping our pockets, because
We already have.
yeah, we have dropped them, and it's a good reference to things because we, like, especially before when we fucking totally went off subject and had no fucking idea what we're talking about. We had dropped our pockets.
We dropped our
again,
pocket, yeah.
literally mid podcast. It's like someone had come up and pulled that one bit of like thread on the seam, and their whole pocket just went woo, just ripped off. Hey,
All the same was
all
fucked.
our pockets have been dropped. Hey.
Wallet
I'm looking
fucking
around
flew
now.
out. There was money and
Actually looking around
Credit
the floor
cards
underneath
and
me
guitar
now
picks
for my dropped
and-
pocket.
change. We dropped our pockets.
Yeah.
That's
Front
it then.
pockets and everything. Like pockets, internal pockets fell out from the inside of my pants.
So you pooed yourself.
Mm.
You pooed your pocket.
Now when I go into me pocket, I can just touch me prick. There's no pocket to go into anymore because it's gone. Just go straight to prick.
Well, that's it then. We dropped our pocket. That's the name of the
Dropped
fucking
our
thing.
pocket, straight to prick.
Dropped. We dropped their pocket, or
We got to drop it. Someone's have to have dropped their pocket. Yeah.
dropped pocket.
Dropped a pocket.
Dropped pocket.